Hello, good evening to you and welcome to News 360. We are live from the News Hub at Adisawe, Kanda. I'm Natalie Fort.
And my name is Alfred Okansi. Coming up in the bulletin tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
NPP directs MMDCE with ambitions to contest parliamentary seats in areas where the party has sitting MPs to resign 3 years before the general elections.
The Energy Commission says it will recommend the pulling down of hotels and facilities which are more than 10 years and failed to undertake electrical auditing.
Also ahead this evening, Parliament summons Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to brief the House on measures to ensure the safety of Ghanaian migrants.
And in business tonight, management of Acrimony Mall narrowly escapes closure of the facility on Wednesday by paying the Ghana Revenue Authority in excess of 2.3 million cedis owed.
Elsewhere in the world this evening, Bosnian court ward criminal dies in hospital after drinking poison during an appeal hearing at The Hague. We've got the details of these stories for you here on News 360, including the latest from the world of sports and entertainment. We're streaming live all across the world on 3news.com and TV3 Ghana on Facebook.
Let's go on to our first story this evening. And the management of Acrimony Mall narrowly escaped closure of the facility on Wednesday by paying the Ghana Revenue Authority in excess of 2.3 million cedis in bankers' draft. The shopping center had under-declared value-added tax from 2013 to 2015.
As part of the national tax campaign to enforce tax compliance, the Ghana Revenue Authority descended on 3 companies in Accra on Wednesday, October 29, to retrieve taxes owed. Per the operation plans, defaulters had the option of either full payment of the tax amount or the companies locked down. The first port of call was the Acrimony Mall, which owed value-added tax in excess of 2.3 million cedis to the state. After some discussions, management of the shopping mall opted to avert a possible lockdown by seeking financial services of the Stanbic Bank at the mall.
Acrimony Mall is one of such taxpayers whom we have served them demand notice on the 11th of September 2017. On 26th of October, we followed up with final demand notice. We've now taken custody of the draft now. Finally, we have been able to retrieve this tax debt, inclusive of penalty.
The mall is now free to operate. The figure of 2.3 million cedis was arrived at during an audit for the years 2013 to 2015. At the Golf House, GRA visited Piesa Boedu & Co., legal practitioners and consultants, who owe VAT in excess of 1 million cedis, could not pay, and the place was locked down. The third company was Fastel Constructions Limited at Hacho, also in Accra. It owed VAT in excess of 41,000 cedis to the state and was also locked down.
And they couldn't make good liability, the tax debt. So we've closed the place up, and we welcome them anytime they come, so that they can, if possible, they have a good payment plan and the place will be open.
The news crew sought clarification on whether the defaulting entities had not evaded tax.
Tax evasion, I don't want to venture into that now because that has not been established. But what it is under declaration or under payment.
The exercise is an ongoing nationwide effort to enforce tax compliance.
So these 3 firms were the firms that were visited by the GRA today. And I'm going to run us by the institutions. Like you saw in the story there, the Acrimony Mall, Piesa Boedu & Co., that's a law firm, legal practitioners, and Fastel Constructions Limited. The Acrimony Mall, as we most may be familiar, located at Tete Kwashi, owed an amount of 2,306,625.90 Ghana cedis, and they were able to be cleared by paying in excess of the amount owed. And Piesa Boedu & Co., which is located at Gulf House, owed an amount of 1,787.17 Ghana cedis, while Fastel Constructions Limited at Hacho owed an amount of 41,080.82 Ghana cedis. And these two companies specifically, like you saw in the story earlier there, were in fact locked down because of inability to pay this amount, and the GRA has specified that measures will be taken against them if they're not able to perform and pay within a matter of 10 days.
I see. So that's the moratorium period, if you understand what's going on. Wisdom Kofi Heto is joining us in studio. He's a Chief Revenue Officer at the Debt Management of and Compliance Enforcement Unit at the Ghana Revenue Authority. He joins us in studio. It's good to have you. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Now, what's your own assessment or the overview of the exercise so far?
Thank you very much, Alfred, and good evening to your cherished viewers. Yeah, the exercise today has largely been very successful, and we are very glad that we were able to retrieve total tax debt that was owed us by Acrimony Mall.
That's just for Acrimony Mall, but how about the others?
Yeah, we visited some other taxpayers who were equally indebted to us, but we couldn't collect money, but we closed their places up, so they cannot continue business.
And you've given them 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days.
And this was supposed to be the moratorium period or the grace period?
Yeah, that's right.
I see. But what's the penalty for the companies who default in payment?
Yeah, they vary with various tax types. For company tax, for instance, is 30%.
30% of what?
Of what they owe.
The amount owed is right. What they pay in addition to
what they are supposed to. Yeah.
So in this sense, Acrimony Mall owing 3 years running, there was a 30% penalty they paid on that amount?
Yeah, with respect to that's a company tax, but in this particular tax, it's a VAT that they owe.
So for VAT, what's the penalty?
The penalty is 12 penalty units, between 1,000 and 2,500 penalty units. So one penalty unit is 12 cedis.
One penalty unit is 12 cedis.
Yeah, and each day that the tax remains are paid, they pay 500 Ghana cedis.
So from the amounts that we're seeing on the screens right now, 2.3 million cedis that Acrimony Mall paid, they paid what, 12,000 or 2,500 penalty units on it? Yeah,
that's in respect of non-payment of the non-submission of the returns. But with respect to non-payment of the liability, they pay 125% of Bank of Ghana interest rate.
I think just for the understanding of it, can you tell us in figurative terms exactly how much? I mean, convert from percentage to this. That's if it's easy for you to do.
Yeah, I have the figures, but
you have no figures
here right now.
Okay, I'm asking this because I mean I'm wondering how deterring this penalty unit is for companies who default in paying VAT. Because for a company to go for 3 years without paying VAT, and then you go to them and then just there they're able to put together the amount and give it to you. What's the deterring measure for them not to be able to do that again?
Yeah, for GRA, tax is purely creation of law. So whatever rate that the Parliament comes out with, that's what we implement. So as to whether it is deterring enough or not, then it's up to Parliament to maybe if they want to change it.
You are the implementers of the law.
Yeah.
Is it deterring enough?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it deterring enough?
I think so. You know,
it is or it is not?
It depends on the company involved and the intention of the taxpayer. If the intention is to evade or the person engages in fraudulent activity, then in that case I would say that it's not deterring enough. But there is other penal consequences that we can apply on them. For instance, the person is engaged in fraud, for instance, tax fraud or invoice cloning or printing their Commissioner General's value books, you know, which they are not supposed to do, then those are purely criminal offenses that they are engaging in. Then we can hand them over for the law enforcement agencies to take care of them.
Is it a case of tax default or evasion? I mean, with these ones that you went on?
We call it under declaration.
Under declaration?
Yeah.
So what happened in these instances, the companies that you visited, was that they all under declared in their taxes?
Their declaration may be intentional or unintentional. The tax system is such that it is self-assessing. For instance, VAT, you declare your taxes as you declare your taxes on the business, the volume of business that you have performed over a period of time. So within a period of time, we also visit you to either confirm or otherwise the declarations that you made. So in this particular case, our auditors went to the taxpayer, went through their books and realized that there were under declarations to the tune of so much. So we work penalty on them and even incidentals, for the purpose of today's action. So they are supposed to pay all this.
In the cases of the under declarations, did you find out how and how come they were able to under declare? Because we do have information that some of your people go to them and they connive with your own personnel, tax officers, to under declare. Are you aware of this?
Well, a few cases come up like that, but the law also has provision for officers who are supposed to be custodian of our taxes, who engage in such activities to be taken care of. So we are just appealing to the general public that if you know of any of our officers who is conniving with taxpayers not to declare and pay the right amount of tax, then you should report to that person to our offices, and that person will be dealt with.
I want to thank you. It appears there's a new drive in you to want to clamp down on these people to get taxes. Previously, your monitoring and compliance unit was called to question, because if people can go for so many years without paying taxes, I wonder what you've been doing.
Yeah, thank you. We have launched a campaign this year, on November 1, for instance, and our objective is to encourage voluntary compliance across our country. We have started since November, and we're trying to use the carrot procedure so that people come voluntarily to pay. Those who are not registered, they come to register and begin to honor their tax obligations. But if after that they haven't complied, then we are going with the stick now at their back. So today has marked the beginning of that phase, where we are going with the stick. Those who are recalcitrant, they want to pay, we are going after them, and we are sure that the tax-paying culture, or not payment of tax culture in Ghana, is going to change.
I'm grateful for your time, and I wish you well.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Wisdom Kofi Heto is the Chief Revenue Officer at the Debt Management Compliance Enforcement Unit at the Ghana Revenue Authority. There, away from that, members of Parliament have condemned the act of slavery happening in Libya. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has been summoned to brief the House on measures to ensure Ghanaians there are safe. Meanwhile, some members have chastised the African Union to be up and doing in protecting Africans abroad.
The MP for Nsawamado Ejiri and the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Frank Anodompre, in a statement lamented the inhumane treatment being meted to migrants in Libya. He alluded to the International Organization for Migration, IOM's report that indicates people are bought between $200 and $500. Statistics indicate over 26,000 migrants have crossed to Italy from different countries, an increase of more than 7,000 people the same period last year. 6,000 are known to have died at sea, while an unknown number perished during the journey through the desert.
I want to urge the government that as a matter of urgency and following the happenings in Libya, we hasten and facilitate efforts to reopen our foreign mission in Libya to ensure that we come atop the situation.
Ranking member of the committee, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, contributed to the statement.
Human beings have been tied. They are hanging, legs above, head below. Videos of people being forced to drink urine and all of that. It's horrendous, Mr. Speaker. And that is why this despicable development demands an urgent action by the world.
Other members contributed.
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect, I think the African leaders must wake up and stop the cocktailing. They must stop the partying. All of us on the footage know that those who are the victims are Africans, and that should be the priority of the African Union. Mr. Speaker, let me also add my voice to the call on the authority of heads of state in the African Union to make space and time to have an emergency meeting on this and be firm and take a decision as to how to confront this situation in Libya.
Members continued with the debate on the 2018 budget statement.
You see clearly that page 172, where you have provision made for lodgement, there is no item under lodgement there. That shows that the 1.1 billion that will be lodged by the MPAs is there and paid to consolidated fund. It is not there. So, Mr. Speaker, where is the money? That which you are calling lodgement, that is to say the money that ought to be lodged into the consolidated fund is transferred directly from the Bank of Ghana into the consolidated fund. So the suggestion that somehow we have not listed some account here, and therefore, where is the money, is a very strange suggestion.
And passengers and commuters plying the Yape-Bupe road have been urged to be patient until next week when repair works on the bridges are expected to be completed. The Sector Minister, Kwesi Amoako-Attah, has, however, assured Parliament that engineers would work day and night to ensure work is completed before the Christmas period.
MP for the area, John Abdullahi Jinapo, lamented the hardships people go through because of the closure of the bridge.
Just become more critical is the fact that this is the harvest season. And in that catchment area, a lot of grains are grown. Granules, maize, rice, sorghum, millet, a lot of farm equipment and machinery, like combined harvesters, like tractors, have moved into their farms. They've started harvesting, and lo and behold, within 24 hours, the bridge is closed. Farm produce risk being destroyed.
Last 1 year, 2016, we never even made a provision for this particular bridge, which we all knew that it could collapse. And therefore, I'd like to thank the minister for taking such a bold decision to get in and do the work.
The roads minister, justifying the closure, said it was necessary to allow for an uninterrupted repair works.
The estimated cost, Mr. Speaker, of the works is approximately 4 million Ghana cedis and is going to be funded by the road fund. And that money has been made available because of the urgency of the situation.
Briefing the media after proceedings, he said he would ensure the work is completed on schedule.
Normally it should have taken us between 6 to 8 weeks, but that would have meant restricting ourselves to the only day work, but we want to mitigate, the inconveniences that people are going through. So I have directed, as the sector minister, that it's possible for us to work day and night. That's why we have been able to reduce it to 4 weeks. And I will be visiting them. I'm telling you, mark it, and you are journalists, follow me. If by Christmas the work is not done and the road is not open, I won't sit in my house to spend Christmas. Myself, my deputy ministers, engineers, all of us will spend Christmas on that bridge.
We certainly will be looking out for the minister to spend Christmas on that bridge if it is not completed, but hopefully it should be. But the new Patriotic Party has directed MMDCs who intend to contest parliamentary seats in areas where the party has sitting MPs to resign 3 years before the general election. The directive follows a decision by the National Council of the party to prevent unwarranted acrimony.
Addressing a news conference at the party headquarters, Acting General Secretary John Boadu indicated that the party believes the decision is in the best interest of the party and the NPP government. He added the directive applies to the constituency and regional executives too.
The relationship between MMDCs and MPs and constituency people also suffers if MMDC eye to remove an MP. We want to make sure that there is separation in activities of our key operatives on the ground.
John Boadu disclosed the National Council has extended the mandate of the current executives for 3 months. He said the party has no plans to expand the electoral college at the polling station level.
We are talking about close to 4,500 people converging to do that job. So that is what is there now, and there hasn't been any proposal to amend it.
All right, so let's still stay a bit on this. Dr. Edward Benya is a political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Political Science Department. Doc, it's good to have you. Good evening to you. Now, there are many who say that this appears to be a protection for sitting MPs, creating an unfair advantage for them. Would you agree with this?
Good evening. I mean, yes, if you look at the decision, it seems to appear that it is a decision to protect the sitting MPs. But let's also look at it from another angle. Given the history that the party has gone through in areas where you have sitting MPs who this constituency executive and the MMDCs, because of their closeness to the delegates, take advantage of that and then try to contest them, and many tend to lose the election. And in many cases, you come to realize that some of these sitting MPs go independent, which in many cases splits the votes between the DC and the MC or the constituency executive and the MP, and then cause harm. I think that is because the MPP want to protect those seats that they have.
Right, but Dr. Benya, is this really the best way to deal with a circumstance like this? I mean, if you have an intention, if any MMDC has an intention, it should resign 3 years before the election?
That's what I was coming to. I thought that the number of years consigned is a problem, because then, even though they are trying to avoid the problem of sitting, constituency executive taking advantage of their closeness, 3 years might also cause others to remain at the job. MC, DCs may remain on the job, and finally, when they decide to do that, go independent, in which case it's still going to cause the MPP, it's going to cause them and probably not solve the problem that they are trying to solve. And there's also an aspect of unfairness when they say that in areas where they don't have sitting MPs, then those people are excluded. Or you also want to look at it broadly. What about those that are, for instance, board chairman or holding other capacities that can still go in and take the advantage of the appointment to worry the sitting MP. So I think that they need to take a second look at the decision, especially with regard to the 3 years.
Doc, I want to thank you very much for your time this evening, as always. I'm grateful. Dr. Edward Benya is a political science lecturer at the Political Science Department at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, joining us via Skype.
Hello, good evening. It's News 360 and it's time for business. My name is Nanikuya Mensah Brampa. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has asked for an immediate audit on the liftings done diversion of over 200 trucks of premix fuel products meant for the engines of fishermen across the country. Executive Secretary Duncan Amwa says the National Petroleum Authority should also step up efforts at eliminating the excesses in the current premix arrangement. There have been at least 200 cases of Premix fuel diversions in the country since January 2017, indicating serious inefficiencies in the regulation of the petroleum sector. The National Petroleum Authority, the NPA, only appears to be issuing series of letters to the National Premix Committee, urging them to look into the matter and ensure sanity in the distribution of the product, instead of cracking the whip on the offenders. Since February 2017, when the NPA drew the Premix Committee's attention to the development, the instances of the crime has seen a gradual increase from the 12 cases in January to over 80 in September.
We are calling for an immediate halt to the entire Premix situation, and if possible a better system where the fisher folks are given the subsidies to be able to buy the lubricants that they blend the petrol with to be able to get Premix, so that we don't create a whole chain where people can just milk the system and endanger all of us inevitably.
According to the chamber, a complete review of the Premix arrangement is necessary as the current system is prone for corrupt diversions.
The NPA per hour checks is getting almost 3 million Ghana cedis monthly from tracking. So one would expect a comprehensive, up-to-date, tracking information on all our liftings. Unfortunately, we are not able to tell where the 200 trucks went to, who bought them, who sold what to who, what damage or what effect it will have on our engines.
It is unclear why the NPA, which has the power to prosecute, has chosen to be writing letters for all these months when the illegality still continues. The diversion of Premix products, the chamber added, poses a danger to the engines of unsuspecting public who buy fuel from some of the compromised outlets. Now, the Energy Commission says it will recommend the pulling down of hotels and facilities which are more than 10 years and have failed to undertake electoral auditing. The Commission says this is to prevent the rampant fire outbreak, protect lives as well as property.
The Commission made this strong warning during a stakeholder meeting with electricians in Accra. Discussions at the forum emphasized on registering qualified officers for electrical works. Deliberations again focused on measures to deal with quack electricians in the system. Discussants also considered the full implementation of electrical wiring program by the Energy Commission. Currently, figures from the Energy Commission indicates Ghana has 5,626 registered electricians, while an additional 100 inspectors have also been trained and certified by the Commission. The Energy Commission is imploring building owners to engage the services of professionals. It has therefore asked the Electricity Company of Ghana not to supply power to facilities which do not engage professionals. It has therefore asked the Electricity Company of Ghana not to supply power to facilities which do not engage professionals. The Commission has again assured to pull down facilities which are above 10 years and have failed to undertake electrical auditing.
If it's a public building, we shut it down. Hotels, we shut them down. Filling stations, if they don't satisfy the requirements as required when an audit is carried out, then they also have to be closed down to take the necessary remedial actions.
The Commission says professionals recruited to conduct wiring will provide subsidized rates.
For instance, if it's a 4-bedroom apartment, okay, somebody can charge you about, let's say, 12,000 Ghana cedis. 12,000 Ghana cedis to do a whole job. Okay, here is and he's going to ensure that you use the right material, and the way he is going to design the thing for you, he's going to save you about 40% of the materials that the ordinary person will give you.
And some financial market experts want government to intensify efforts in the fight against money laundering to promote effective development. Participants at an anti-money laundering training program in Accra were educated on emerging trends in cybercrime.
Participants, mainly drawn from the capital market, for the next 2 days will be taken through how to identify red flags, undertake comprehensive risk assessment, implement customer diligence, among others.
When the market is blacklisted, it affects we, the workers, the employees and the employers all. And it's going to affect Ghana investment institution also. We are trying as much as possible to comply. That's the main reason why we organize forum quarterly.
But how is Ghana faring in the fight against money laundering?
The banking sector, just by its nature of operations, obviously has to deal with a lot of international markets. So they have historically had to have a stronger KYC backbone. But for the other non-bank sectors, because we are mostly focused on local business, there hasn't been that level of exposure. But now with the local legislation and with the regulations we are coming out with, we expect a stronger regulation of such activities.
There's more on 3news.com, but that will do for business now. My name is Nanikia Mensah. There's more on News 360. Good evening.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for some entertainment news. And 2017's Ghana's Most Beautiful, first runner-up and native of Winneba, Baba, returned home to a heroic welcome after her stunning show at the finals. Owusu Arai reports the euphoria was as though she had brought home the crown.
It's 10 Tuesday morning at Baba's lodging place in Winneba. Baba, the Central Region's pride, beamed with smiles. Masquerades, die-hard fans, and market women poured on the streets of Winneba to welcome Baba. Inhabitants are overjoyed for one reason. Baba, the first native of Winneba to represent the region, proved herself and made the town proud. From left and right, they lined up the streets, singing, dancing, and showering praises. In appreciation of their love, prayers, and tests which pushed her through, Baba waved at the enthusiastic crowd. As the procession hit the Winneba market, the jubilant crowd doubled.
The Central Regional rep to Ghana's Most Beautiful might have missed the count by inches, but the euphoria here on the street of Winneba is as if she brought home the crown. All excitement, everybody is happy to see Baba back home, and so the jubilation continues.
Next was a special homecoming for Baba. Baba will soon hit other towns in the region, including Cape Coast, to appreciate their support.
Well, a 6-year-old Joy has been diagnosed of leukemia, a childhood cancer that affects the blood components. She urgently needs $50,000 to undergo surgery, lest doctors say her situation may become terminal.
This is having a serious effect on her body, which gives Joy.
Smile, hoping to get the support of every one of you who's watching there. There is no amount too small and there is no amount too big if we decide to come together to help save the life of Joy. So yeah,
very emotional there.
It's
and like you said, there's nothing too small.
But we're appealing to you out there, please, as you have always done in all the other instances that we've come to you. This is no exception. We pray that you contribute and come to TV3 premises to help us put a joyful smile on Joy's face. On behalf of the rest of the team, we're grateful. My name is Alfred Okansi.
And I'm Natalie Fort. We've got more news on our website, 3news.com. And news at 10 days this evening will simulcast on 3FM 92.7. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening.